me as we present The Healing Box, live at Inglewood's world-famous Miracle Theater, Saturday evening, May 23rd at 7 p.m. Look, I understand. Your attachment style has been running your life like a rogue algorithm, and nobody has had the courage to press pause. Until now, Dr. Pakoya McCall and yours truly are curating a night where clinicians, spiritualists, and an all-star panel of Black woman healers like Dr. Shalonda Sunshine Crawford, Dr. Jashana Johnson, and spiritualist Precious McGill will join some amazing spoken word artists and the legendary comedian Louis Dix to diagnose, disrupt, and heal your relational wreckage in real time. Listen, bring your trauma. As a matter of fact, bring your baby mama. No, bring your testimony. And if you're still texting your ex at 2 a.m., baby, you're not just invited, you're the target demo. Tickets are moving fast, so grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before your dating history gets flagged as a pre-existing condition. That's themiracleinglewood.com. We'll see you there Saturday, May 23rd at 7 p.m.
They don't love you like I love you. Slow down, they don't love you like I love you. Back up, they don't love you like I love you. Step down, they don't love you like I love you. Can't you see there's no other man above you? What a wicked way to treat the girl that loves you. Oh love, they don't love you like I love you. Oh down, they don't love you like I love you. Something don't feel right because it ain't right, especially coming up after midnight. I smell your secrets, and I'm not too perfect to ever feel this worthless. How did it come down to this? Scrolling through your call list. I don't wanna lose my pride, but I'ma put me up. Know that I kept it sexy, and know I kept it fun. There's something that I'm missing, maybe my head for one. What's worst, looking jealous or crazy? Jealous or crazy? Or like being walked all over lately, I'd rather be crazy. Hold up, they don't love you like I love you. Slow down, they don't love you like I love you. Back up, they don't love you like I love you. Step down, they don't love you like I love you.
Welcome in, happy Thursday. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And tonight, we're getting into stories where career advice, family drama, mental health, music numbers, and a couple of legal consequences. They're all sitting at the same table. But quickly, shout out to Beyonce. 10 years ago today, she dropped Lemonade on all of us. As Andy pointed out, this is some people's favorite Beyonce album. They feel that it is a highly acclaimed piece of work. You know, she is talking about what she was going through with her problems with Jay-Z through the album. You know, I mean, Formation was my favorite cut off of this album. I gotta be honest, though. Don't kill me, Beehive. I didn't love this album like you guys did. It was cool. But I much prefer Beyonce, her first one, or now Renaissance. Those are my top 3 Beyonce albums.
Didn't this album drop at the height of the Me Too movement? Because I felt like this was like the anthem.
It was like 2016, a lot was going on. We had a lot of celebrity deaths that year. It was Me Too that started like picking up during that time period. So you're probably right. It probably, spoke to a lot of the feelings that women were going through at that time period. I am woman, hear me roar. That type of thing. We're not standing for it anymore. Not taking this abuse lying down. Shout out to my sisters. All right, so listen. Tonight, we are getting into a lot of things. We're talking Emma Grede. She has been called the Kardashian Whisperer. She is the co-owner and co-collaborator with Kim Kardashian on Skims and Khloe Kardashian on Good American and several other businesses. She's just dropped a new book. And during her press tour, she has said something that has shaken a lot of women to the core, but Black women especially. She basically said that working from home is career suicide for women. So we're going to get into that. We're also going to talk a little bit about Kehlani. She has a new album that is dropping tomorrow, but she is opening up about living life with bipolar disorder, BPD, and what that looks like as far as medication therapy and having a crisis plan that she lets her friends and family in on. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to get into James Pearce Jr., I think he's still signed to the Falcons, actually, NFL player who was arrested and charged with domestic violence against his girlfriend or former girlfriend, Rickea Jackson, a member of the LA Sparks. Looks like a plea might have been reached, so we're going to talk about it because some people are upset at those details. And Brian McKnight, he's suing his ex-wife's son and a couple of media outlets because he said that they conspired to make him look crazy. Not that he did it on his own. We'll talk about it. But before we get into that, big ups to former NBA star J.R. Smith. He is going to be graduating from North Carolina A&T, right? The two-time NBA champion is graduating this spring among the commencement ceremonies, which are taking place in May, right? He entered the NBA straight from high school in 2004. I believe JR was number 18, 17, 18, 19 in that draft. I can't remember. Got drafted to the New Orleans Hornets. And he's like, I don't know. I know a little. But he's been working towards his degree while balancing life after the league. He's taken up golf for a minute. He spent time on the Aggies golf team. And he is expected to actually walk and speak during the commencement, as well as Queen Latifah is giving the commencement speech. So big ups to JR and all his fellow NCAT graduates, right? Because we love a second arc story. And we know JR was known for the Henny, which he told y'all he wasn't drinking the Henny. It was the weed. But, going straight from high school to the NBA, winning some championships, JR had some drama, but I love his second act, and I'm really happy for that man. So big ups to him, All right, when we come forward, we are going to get into all of these trending topics and headlines and hear what Emma has to say because, shocker, I think she's right. We'll get into it all when we come forward. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm a Louisiana. You mix that Negro with that Creole, make a Texas Bama. I like my baby hair with baby hair and afro. I like my Negro nose with Jackson 5 nostrils. I earned all this money, but they never take the country out me. I got hot sauce in my bag, swag. I see it, I want it. I stuck yellow on it.
Your ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is connecting you with services and solutions. Domestic violence and family violence is when someone in an intimate or family relationship tries to gain or maintain power and control over another through a wide range of abusive behaviors. Every single act may amount to abuse. Abuse can take on various forms: psychological and emotional, physical and economic, and sexual abuse. The Genesee Center Incorporated is a nationally recognized nonprofit domestic violence prevention and intervention organization, housing women and children from 30 days up to 2 years through emergency and transitional shelters. The Genesee Center also provides support services like mental health counseling, life skills classes, computer training, job referrals, after-school programs for children, field trips, tutoring, and comprehensive direct legal services. If you need help or you'd like to donate or volunteer, call the Genesee Hotline, 1-800-479-7328. That's 1-800-479-7328, or visit genesee.org. Everyone has the right to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. You know, just to top off that JR topic, something I didn't mention, J.R. Smith getting his degree, graduating. JR has a 4.0, and in 2021, he was honored with the Academic Athlete of the Year. So, I mean, again, big ups to that, because he could have just rested on his laurels and his money and been cool, found things to invest into, but he valued his education enough to go in as a freshman and work his way onto the golf team. So you got to give a lot of respect to that. Andy?
It's never too late to do anything.
Big facts, big facts. Now, listen, if you want to get in on the conversation tonight, you know what you have to do. 800-920-1580. That's the number that you can dial. You can get at us on social media, KBLA 1580. I'm at Stiletto Jill everywhere. Holla at your girl, say hi. Or you can join the YouTube chat. Shout out to the VIPs. They are in there chatting already. So let's get into these topics for the night. Okay, so Emma Grede, right? She has stepped into a very modern work debate, right? Especially coming off of, I can't believe it's been 6 years now since the pandemic took place. But she said something out loud that a lot of people will fight you against this statement. She said that working from home is career suicide for women. She is the CEO of Good American and Skims, and the founding partner was Skims, right? And she's one of the most visible Black women in fashion and business. She recently became one of the sharks, the first Black female shark on the show, Shark Tank. And she's been making her rounds for her book, Start With Yourself, A New Vision for Work and Life. And during a conversation she had on It's Keke Palmer, baby, you know, Keke Palmer's podcast, she argued that remote work is hurting women because it keeps them out of the rooms where power, visibility, relationships, and promotions happen. So let's get into what she had to say, and then we'll follow it up with some conversation.
Work from home culture is a career killer for women. And let me explain to you why. Remembering that I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women that work for me. Now, what is happening is that we talk about all of this sort of upside of Zoom culture, but none of the rigidity of it. And no one will really tell you. But careers require proximity and visibility. You want a pay rise? You want the next promotion? You want the big corner office? Guess what? You need to be there. You might not want to hear it, because it might be comfortable in your living room, but the facts are the facts. And I'm not here to sugarcoat information or to load women up with toxic positivity.
So you almost feel like it's a way to also, I don't want to say push us out, but it's almost slowly a way to be like, you're not needed, or you don't really, it's not there's no urgency because you're away.
It's eroding the potential for women to be successful.
Interesting.
Period. End off. Your boss won't tell you that because they're not allowed to tell you. The way we have built human resource culture in this country and the rest of the Western world is that no one can have that conversation with you. But the truth is the truth. It just is. If you're not there, if you're not in the room, there is going to be somebody else that is. And guess what? Like, they will get that opportunity over you. This is not about like whether or not these things are true or properly understood or whether they're right, quite frankly. Yeah. Because I know that for some people, they're like, but wait a minute, I need this flexibility. The way that we all come into work now is that, and I run organizations that are very flexible. Nobody misses things that they need to do, a dentist appointment, an appointment with their kids, because they have to be in work from this hour to this hour. There's a level of flexibility that's assumed in the workplace right now. But I think it's a little bit like this idea that we've built for ourselves that you can listen your way to success. Like, if I just stack all these podcasts, like, I'm going to get really successful. No, ambition has to find you working. And work is just work.
So let's get into it, because she said a lot there, and a lot of the pushback that, let me just state for the record, I understand. I agree with some of the pushback, but I have a but. So a lot of the pushback that we're hearing is, from Black women saying being in the office has not always protected Black women, right? Paid us for our multiple hours of service. We've often been passed over for those promotions that she is talking about. You need to be there to get, right? So the microaggressions, right? Some people just want to get their check and go home and live their life and not get into the corporate greed structure, climbing up the ladder, right? And that's fine. But for those that do, she is absolutely correct. And let me tell you why. I'm not saying that you can't make some moves, but there are some nuances that you miss when you are not in the mix, right? Certain relationships that happen, certain hallway conversations that take place. Sometimes people out of sight, out of mind is really a true thing. Unfortunately, right? And while you are at home comfortable in your cocoon, away from a possibly hostile environment, you are also being forgotten about. You're a cog in the wheel. You can easily be, and again, understanding that Black women are often the sacrificial lambs in workplace situations, or the workhorse. You choose which animal you identify with in that situation. But what I'm saying is that without that ability to talk one-on-one with your boss really quick and make that connection, without being able to know, oh, that coworker works like this, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, I need to make sure that I have my P's and Q's covered here because they'll sell me out. Those little things, you can see those microaggressions, sure, on an email, in a Slack chain, but you know that in real life when you're in person. And here's another uncomfortable fact. A lot of times people like to work with their friends, i.e. look at the Trump administration right now. But that aside, realistically, people like to work with people that they feel comfortable with. It doesn't mean that they won't hire someone that is not necessarily their buddy old pal, but people like to feel comfortable in environments that they're going to have to be in close proximity with someone with for a long period of time. That's just the reality of it. And like I said, not everyone wants to run it up, and race to the top of those corporate ladders. But I do feel as though if you want to be a C-suite employee, if you want to make yourself known as a leader, You have to show that. And the way that you show that is in your interactions in the workplace and the actions that you take there. Andy?
She's only making that statement because of her status as a CEO. She needs workers to come to work and work for her.
I agree. But here's the thing that you should know about Emma as well. Emma came from a single mother in West End, London. She raised basically her 3 sisters while her mother worked. She came from nothing and pulled herself up by her bootstraps and put it together, right? Now, she is married. I should note, 1, she is biracial. 2, her husband is white, because somebody's going to ask. Y'all are going to ask, right? She met her husband, though, while she was grinding to work. And
she didn't speak about that, but it's all love.
But I'm speaking about it. And she did speak about it, because if she hadn't spoke about it, I wouldn't know it, right? Right. So she met him while she was grinding. She was actually trying to get funding for one of the projects that she was working on, and he fell in love with her. They didn't end up doing that business deal, but they connected and got together. So listen, Andy.
Here's another issue I have with that.
Okay.
Is that there's this implication that, like, you know, if you stay home and you work from home, that you're not out in the streets, that you're not out networking per se. You could be an entrepreneur, work from home, and still be visible, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to be at the office and kiss ASS. You feel me? Just because I want a you know what I'm saying, a promotion or whatnot.
You're
you
right.
Feel me?
You are absolutely right.
I feel like you can balance. I can work from home, and then I can go step out, go to networking events, see what's cracking out there in the streets, look for potential networking opportunities for advancement.
But that is outside of your corporate structure. You're talking if you're an entrepreneur, you're looking to go like somewhere else in the business. Yeah, you can. But if you want to move ahead with those people that sign your reviews and are going to be your team members or can promote you to future leadership positions, you kind of have to, I believe, just from my time in court. And I say this as someone who hasn't gone into an office for work since 2011.
And I mean, you've still progressed in your career, right?
But there are definitely moments, even in this career, where I felt like that lack of visibility or sometimes isolation hurt me and held me back in some ways.
And I agree with that. And that's why I say balance. Work from home, and then bring yourself to the office from time to time. Say hello, introduce yourself from time to time. But I don't feel like you have to be in that office every day just so I can catch maybe a 5-minute water cooler conversation amongst the head honcho.
Right. I'm not saying every day, but I do think you should go in at least if you have that option once a week or something like that.
Say hello, but don't force me to come to the office every day, though.
You know, I agree. Listen, we have a caller on the line, and I know she's going to have something to say. Fire it up for us. Fahima from D.C., welcome in. How are you this evening?
Greetings, Jill, and I agree with Andy 1,000%. And I posted a comment in the chat. It really is contingent on where one is in their career. Now, perhaps if one is early in their career and they're trying to climb the corporate ladder, yeah. But the landscape has completely changed since the advent of COVID. For example, I teach hybrid, right? And I also have a private practice. And so you even have people who are actually in the C-suite, and they are not in the corner office at work. They actually are working remotely because there are things such as Teams, which is where people interface and they have meetings. I had a meeting with our provost with 100 and some odd other faculty members. And so the landscape has completely changed. And this woman is speaking, as Andy said, as an employer who wants bodies and booties in the office. And as people, as entrepreneurs, they have to be able to navigate and network, and working remotely provides that opportunity also to spend time with loved ones, as well as launch your own business if you want to simultaneously. And I'll just land there. It depends upon where you are in your career and the industry.
Thank you, Fahima, as always. And I agree with that. I'm not disputing that at all. And she even alluded to the fact that, when you're talking about a lot of C-suite executives, of course, they're not going to be on the same terms. But you have to get there to make those choices, right? And when you're further in your career, you can make different choices. But I think that the idea really, and maybe it's pointed towards younger workers, is we've heard a lot of conversation about Gen Z workers and even Gen Z as students, how they don't take a lot of agency. They aren't proactive in some of their things. And a lot of the pushback they'll give you is, I wasn't taught. I wasn't implicitly told to do that, and things of that nature. And so there are certain things as far as workplace culture, good, bad, or indifferent, that you need to be in there to experience. So, Andy?
I also feel like, what's the generation before you? Baby boomers?
Yes.
Who seem to kind of run things, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? If we're looking at these corporations or whatnot, I feel like they're not trying to adapt to the times.
That is true.
They want to keep everything old school. They want to take it back to like just how things used to be. And it's just interesting with the advancement of AI that these folks do not want to advance, so to speak. I mean, come on now, has the pandemic not taught us that work can happen from a remote space?
I mean, I think it's twofold. I think, one, we have to think about the real estate that has taken a hit in those things when you're talking about that, and part of the push to make people come back to the office. I truly believe hybrid models can work, right? I don't think that the current way that we work and the workload, the 9 to 5 was really established when we were in the industrial age and stuff like that, where things were just getting automated, etc. We are way beyond that. So I think that a hybrid model can work. But I think the idea, if you want to climb that corporate ladder, you're going to have some face time. And I don't think virtual is enough, right? I just don't. That is my belief. You can feel another way. It remains to be seen who is right. I'm not mad at it. I do think that hybrid, and I do understand why you would just want to be work from home. I'm not ignoring all of that.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
If we work from home, a lot of these scandals that you hear about in the workplace probably wouldn't even exist.
They wouldn't, but they would exist someplace else, because people are still going to be people, and people are still going to creep, sneak, and do a little something strange for some change or whatever. When we come forward, we'll have more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I see you last. I know I didn't have to walk away. All I had to do was ask for space. I'm telling you, be on your way. When I told you to fall back, so can you come pick up your clothes?
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. The Senate early today adopted a plan to reopen the Department of Homeland Security. Senator John Cornyn says Republicans beat back a series of Democratic proposals during the process.
It's absurd that they have taken this approach to voice their opposition to President Trump.
The vote is part of a budget reconciliation, which allows the bill to move forward without needing a supermajority. Top Los Angeles leaders met with President Trump on Wednesday to talk about wildfire recovery. Black Mayor Karen Bass called the meeting very positive. In recent weeks, LA leaders and Trump have also found common ground in criticizing insurance companies over wildfire coverage. And prosecutors say a significant amount of child pornography was found on a phone belonging to black singer David, whose real name is David Anthony Burke. Burke is charged with first-degree murder in the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez and is also accused of having a sexual relationship with her. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The San Bernardino County Registrar of Voters reminds San Bernardino County residents to vote early in the June 2nd California primary election. Learn about ways to vote, your polling place, and more at elections.sbcounty.gov.
Is this the tiger? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The NFL Draft has been a frustrating experience for HBCU football players and coaches. Over the past 3 drafts, only 2 players from an HBCU program have been selected. Carson Benson, an offensive lineman from Alabama A&M, was a 3rd-round pick last year by the Baltimore Ravens. Isaiah Bolden, a cornerback from Jackson State, was a 7th-round pick by the New England Patriots in 2023. No HBCU players were taken in the 2024 draft. Barring trades, the 32 NFL teams have at least 1 pick in each of the 7 rounds. There is casual optimism among HBCU followers that NFL teams will do a better job in providing opportunities for HBCU players. Former Indiana University men's basketball coach Mike Davis is expected to be named the new coach at HBCU Mississippi Valley State. Mississippi Valley has won only 12 games in the past 4 years. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, host of The Voice of Reason, weeknights at 7 p.m. here on KBLA Talk 1580, with a personal invitation for you to join me and Insight.me as we present The Healing Box, live at Inglewood's world-famous Miracle Theater, Saturday evening, May 23rd at 7 p.m. Look, I understand your attachment style has been running your life like a rogue algorithm, and nobody has had the courage to press pause. Until now, Dr. Bakoya McCall and yours truly are curating a night where clinicians, spiritualists, and an all-star panel of Black woman healers like Dr. Shalonda Sunshine Crawford, Dr. Jashana Johnson, and spiritualist Precious McGill will join some amazing spoken word artists and the legendary comedian Louis Dix to diagnose, disrupt, and heal your relational wreckage in real time. Listen, bring your trauma. As a matter of fact, bring your baby mama. No, bring your testimony. And if you're still texting your ex at 2 a.m., baby, you're not just invited, you're the target demo. Tickets are moving fast, so grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before your dating history gets flagged as a pre-existing condition. That's themiracleinglewood.com. We'll see you there Saturday, May 23rd at 7 p.m.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. We love America in spite of, not because of. And that's the deepest kind of love. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for voting rights. The midterm election campaign season is here now. The 2028 presidential election is right around the corner. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on a mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build an informed and engaged electorate for today and generations to come. When We All Vote empowers their supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. It's all in for 2026 and 2028. Please visit whenweallvote.org to stand up for your rights, voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Sometimes you're better off dead. There's a gun in your hand that's pointing at your head. You think you're mad, too unstable, kicking in chairs and knocking down tables in a restaurant in a West End town. Call the police, there's a madman around, running down underground to a dive bar in a West End town. In a West End town, a dead end world, the East End boys and West End girls. In a West End town, a dead end world, the East End boys and West End girls. West End girls.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. He comes to the Pet Shop Boys, West End Girls. The whole British invasion as far as R&B went. I mean, pop too, but they really sounded very R&B back in the 80s. So jam. Okay, listen, since we're talking 80s spectacular things really quickly, so you guys know Michael drops tomorrow. Officially. Are you going to go see it? We know it was $150 million in pre-sales already, right? It's already the #1 movie of the weekend before it's even been let out. And as discussed earlier this week, it hasn't been doing too well as far as the critics are concerned. So, one, I want to know if you guys are going to go see it, if you have plans to see it. And second, well, I mean, I guess I just asked. I'll let Andy decide. Do you guys want a spoiler-free review? Because I've seen it.
I mean, what is there to spoil other than the fact that, it's the Michael Jackson story?
I mean, what they included in there, what scenes, what. What you think, Andy? We can wait, talk about it next week?
I'd like for you to dive more into the criticism. Now, if the criticism is going to expose, some parts of the film.
I mean, it could, but, I mean, we could. All right, so let me just say it, okay? Beautiful gowns. Beautiful gowns. That's what Aretha Franklin said about Taylor Swift when she was asked about her. Listen, I think Jafar did a really good job in embodying his uncle, the mannerisms, things of that nature. But I got to tell you guys, it's really shallow. It's really shallow. There's not they didn't give Nia Long a lot to do in this. It's very, I don't know if you guys have been to Disneyland and got on, what's it called? The Peter Pan ride at Disneyland. And, in the, what is it called? Fantasyland or Fairy Tale Land. I can't remember that little village where it's like early Disneyland, the rides from 1950s, like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Snow White, Peter Pan, where Sleeping Beauty's castle is. Well, when you get on the Peter Pan ride, you get on this pirate ship and you fly over London. You see Big Ben. You see the Mermaid Island, Never Land, all of these things, right? But you're just flying over it. It's just like, oh, there's that landmark and there's that landmark. But there's not much depth to it. And that's what I feel about the film. So if you don't know too much about Michael, this is good for you. If you just want to see some video-like recreation of some of his performances, this is for you. Fahima in the chat says, I heard no Janet or Diana Ross portrayed. So is it authentic? The Diana Ross scenes were cut because apparently there was originally, I've shared with you guys this, the movie had come in around 4 hours and they knew they had to trim it down. And it originally was set to end in 93. It ends in 88 in this one. There are talks of a part 2, but there were some legal things tied to some of those cases that caused them to have to re-edit the movie. And so I guess a scene involving Diana Ross somehow connected to that. So Diana was cut from the movie. Janet, Rebe, and Randy all declined to participate in the film. So what I can tell you is that those 3 siblings aren't included in the family moments or the film. May not matter to you because it's Michael's story. And listen, Urban Spinster asks, how were the wigs and prosthetics? That's usually what throws me off. They did a good job with Jafar, right? I don't think that the wigs and prosthetics were really a problem. I don't even know if Jafar really had any prosthetics on. That wasn't the thing for me. The thing for me is really there wasn't much of a story there. So it's not, in my opinion, a fully fleshed out script. And it's just really kind of skims over things. And I'm not even saying that it had to go into the sensationalized areas like the court cases. I would have liked to see more depth on his fight against MTV to get Billie Jean on the air. You know what I'm saying? Just certain things like that. So those are my feelings. You should still go see it. Somebody asked about Coleman Domingo. Now, some people felt that Coleman leaned too heavily into the character portraying this. I actually enjoyed Coleman's portrayal. I got a couple of keys out of it. So, you know, we'll see what it is. You guys go check it out. It drops tomorrow. I think that regardless, you should check it out. And, you know, we want to celebrate Michael because Michael is Mike is Mike. All right. Switching things up, let's get into Kehlani really quickly because, as mentioned, she has a new album dropping tomorrow. And I really like Kehlani, Taurus baby. Gotta mention that. You know I am. And she's speaking candidly about her mental health journey that followed her bipolar disorder diagnosis along with borderline personality disorder. So she has those two. And in a new interview that was published this week, she reflected on how treatment and self-awareness have changed her life. She said, when you finally have the tools and have the diagnosis, life gets better. But along with that diagnosis comes the work. And she explained that getting diagnosed pushed her towards medication and several forms of therapy, while also helping her to better understand her own behavior. She said once she got diagnosed and got medicated and did different forms of therapy like somatic healing and so forth, she said that she gained a tool belt of awareness. And she said she started to recognize her own symptoms and triggers, and that she started to learn what kind of life she needed to lead as a person whose mind is different. And with that, she said she also encourages people close to her to notice warning signs if she begins struggling. And she said, if you see these signs, I'm not sleeping, I'm not eating, I'm talking really fast, call my psychiatrist, I'm in a crisis. And she also revealed that global events and personal stress once pushed her into extreme paranoia, and that's what led her to seek help. So I think that it's a really important conversation because we often talk about therapy and what that looks like. But on the other side of that, our friends and family who also want to be helpful may not know what to do in some of these moments. And so creating language around that and having open dialogue, I think is really, really needed because we know that there's a whole lot of people that probably are undiagnosed with some things. And just being able to talk about it, having open and honest conversations, a plan for if we think something is wrong, helps to arm everybody and make it a better place. And also, I believe it makes us more sensitive. Listen, when we come forward, more trending topics and headlines.
Your ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
My name is Cynthia Mitchell. I've been an emergency room nurse in Los Angeles County for 25 years.
I've been there through every fire season, every outbreak, every earthquake. Every time Los Angeles needed us, the doctors and nurses of Los Angeles County showed up. And right now, I'm seeing another disaster coming. Trump's cuts to Los Angeles County's healthcare system are a public health crisis in the making. Medi-Cal, public hospitals, disaster preparedness are all at risk. But we can stop it. Measure ER fights back against these cuts. For a half a penny, we keep emergency rooms open, care within reach for working families, and doctors and nurses serving the communities we love. When you vote yes on Measure ER, you're not just voting for healthcare, you're voting for LA. Vote yes on Measure ER by June 2nd.
Ad paid for by Yes on ER, Restore Healthcare for Angelenos, sponsored by St. John's Community Health and Health Justice Action Fund. Ad committee top funder, St. John's Community Health.
You better work.
She's rooted in culture and rising in power. Los Angeles City Council member Karen D. Price Jr. invites you to the District 9 Women's Leadership Summit, a powerful gathering celebrating the women who shape our communities. Join us Sunday, May 3rd from 1 to 6 p.m. Registration is open now, but space is limited. District 9 residents receive special priority. This event is free. Call 323-846-2651 to reserve your spot. That's 323-846-2651. Be rooted, be powerful, be there.
Getting around LA doesn't have to cost a lot. Metro has fares that fit every budget. 20 free rides for qualified riders through the Life Fare program. Free passes for students with GoPass and affordable options for everyone in between. Wherever you're going, Metro's got you covered. Visit metro.net/fare programs.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Tired of being locked out of job opportunities and shut down by systemic racism? KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you in fighting for the rights of black workers, and we don't black down. The Los Angeles Black Workers Center is a dynamic alliance of workers, organized labor, community-based organizations, clergy, students, and scholars working collectively to improve the position of the black working class. The LA Black Workers Center takes a comprehensive approach to addressing the black jobs crisis. Their programs promote access to quality jobs, racial equity in hiring and retention, discrimination-free job sites, and they prepare black workers for employment in high-wage career track jobs. The LA Black Workers Center supports workers who need help protecting their rights on the job. They give workers access to quality jobs and remove systemic barriers to employment. And they are advocating for a fair deal for black workers in the new Los Angeles City Charter. To sign up for free career readiness training, get involved in organizing, or learn about union apprenticeship programs and trade registries, please visit lablackworkercenter.org. That's lablackworkercenter.org. Together, we can beat the black jobs crisis and build a more equitable Los Angeles. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. The comments are commenting. Pretty Brown Mimi says, oh no, sounds like you're giving it a thumbs down, Jill. I'm giving it a thumb sideway. It's not a thumbs down, but I cannot fully give my thumbs up for it.
You had high expectations, huh?
I don't think that it is saying I had high expectations to want a little more depth to the script. It felt, dare I say,
rushed.
Don't stone me. No, it's not so much that it even felt rushed. It felt, this is MJ. There's some parts that I don't want it to feel like a TV movie. Do you know what I mean? And I just wanted a little more depth from the script, right? Like, I won't give examples because, again, that'll be giving scenes. But there's just, I feel like there could have been a little more depth in some areas. Because, like, I can't tell you who played Jermaine, Jackie, Tito, and Marlon. I can't tell you. I think that Nia Long could have done more. And I'm not saying that it was her performance. Again, maybe there were things that were left out, but I just was kind of disappointed to a degree in how she was used. You know, I mean, it's not terrible, but yeah.
Has there ever been like a biopic that, you know, folks were universally like happy about it?
I mean, probably not. Everybody's subjective. However, I think there are things that people can kind of rally around and agree upon. Like Ray generally is thought of as a well-done biopic. What's love got to do with it? Even though people have come to debate on certain facts, there was no question that it was a well-done film and script, right? If we want to talk the Jacksons, American Dream was a hell of a miniseries.
Absolutely.
You know, so I feel as though there are some examples out there. I'm not asking you to reinvent the wheel. I am not saying that they had to give me a raw character study and tears, or I just wanted the script to be a little more filled in.
Is it safe to say that this could also be, marketed to the younger crowd, to the new generation?
It could, again, if you know nothing about Michael or very little, you're probably going to learn a thing or two. So there it is. I mean, again, we've seen like Toni Braxton, TLC, Aaliyah, and so forth have these series or TV movies on there. So it's in the same family. All right, so last story for the night, I think. James Pearce Jr., I mentioned he's a member of the Atlanta Falcons. He was dating Rickea Jackson. Previously, we know that back in February, he was arrested for ramming his Lamborghini into the back of her car and chasing her through a gated complex, right? And he reportedly is now in talks to enter an intervention program that would allow him to avoid trial on multiple charges, right? According to Andy Slater of Fox Sports, Pearce's legal team is negotiating a deal that would dismiss the charges in exchange for completing a program that includes therapy sessions and a 6-month probation period. As part of the program, he must naturally stay away from his ex-girlfriend, and he's expected to appear in court on May 7th to finalize the agreement, right? So reportedly, Rickea's attorneys have been responding to police officers and working with state's attorney and agreed to propose the deal as well, seemingly saying that she would prefer him to get help as opposed to going to jail, right? And people are a little torn on this topic, understandably so, because they're like threatening da-da-da-da. But something that I bring up in situations, especially when we're talking about domestic, right, is that these individuals will be released back in the world at some point. And the thought or idea that no other woman is going to entertain them or engage with them, it's a very low probability of that happening. And with that, you need to hope that though he wasn't a man and didn't treat Rickea in the way that she deserved to be treated, you hope that moving forward, he can be given the tools to learn to do that, because it's not a black hole where we're dropping these people into and just erasing them. And I'm not saying to be easy. I'm not saying what happened wasn't terrifying or threatening, but I always start with the woman's response. And if she feels that this is okay, much like when we have the conversation surrounding Rihanna and Chris Brown, Karrueche and Chris Brown, and people still want to hold certain things, labels, situations to them, and the women themselves seemingly have moved on. I just say you have to address at some point the healing, the therapy, the control that needs to happen with those individuals. And sometimes with certain things, I mean, not everything, but I think that just locking them up may not be enough. So, again, I am not making excuses for violence towards women or saying that what he did was not that big of a deal. I'm not saying that at all. I am saying, though, that these people, he's young enough. He's in his 20s. They're going to step back outside into society, and they're going to be in contact with women. And the hope is that no other woman endures that type of treatment or experience with them. And if he's not given the tools to work with, how will he advance and evolve to not be that person to the next woman? Those are just my thoughts, y'all. You know. Don't be mad at me for that. Don't be mad. All right.
I'll say that was very queenly of her to have
Yes,
that
it was.
perspective. I just think, just on a human level, to be able to have the understanding that, they say jail is supposed to rehabilitate you. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So I can understand her like, you know what? Look, I don't like what occurred to me. But you know what? I have empathy enough to understand that, you know what? Like you said, this man needs some healing. And quite frankly, I'm not the woman for her moving forward, but I don't want that cycle to continue, like you said, to the next woman. So I'd rather that person have help. I mean, hell, maybe you can go to jail for a couple of days. You feel
right,
me?
So a little
you know what I'm
bit.
saying? But at the same time, I'd rather you have help as opposed to, being locked up, because they're not rehabbing you in jail at all.
Absolutely not. Now, listen, I didn't get to Brian McKnight, but I could give you the tea really quick. Brian McKnight is suing his ex-wife, his son, Brian McKnight Jr. Remember, he changed his middle name so that he could name his new son, Brian, the Hawaiian middle name, McKnight Jr., right? And disassociate himself with the people he said were made out of sin. It wasn't made out of love. And he wants to sue several bloggers, the New York Post, and Julie McKnight and his son, Brian Jr. Brian, you were tripping. You did that to yourself with your own words. You put out those live stream videos and had those conversations, and people made that judgment for there. That is where that came from. You are upset that people are reporting the facts of things that came out. Now, there can be a dispute, I guess, on the opinion of what happened with your relationship with your son, but everybody has a POV. And I think that you kind of cooperated, some of the viewpoints in your own speaking. So I feel like you're kind of wasting the court's time, but do you, Val? Do you? I don't know if it'll help with those ticket sales, but do you? Much respect. Listen, thank you guys for locking in each and every Monday through Thursday right here on KBLA Talk 1580. I'll be back Monday. Hit me up on my Stiletto Jill YouTube channel tomorrow. Coming up next is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason.
Reaching up for me. Do I ever cross your mind? Anytime I miss you. Still have your picture in the frame. Hear your footsteps down the hall. I swear I hear your voice driving me insane.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. The Senate early today adopted a plan to reopen the Department of Homeland Security. Senator John Cornyn